Good morning. Ooh, that's bright. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, there you go. That's a little better. That's better, at least for me. Okay, good morning. Good morning. I am sitting in my car because I am about to head into a meeting. And this is Lisette, if you didn't already know, since I'm on my page. But I'm on here this morning on my page, really as an effort for Will You Be Whole, which I'm known as Reverend L with Will You Be Whole, to start another way of sparking conversation. I have been, to be honest with you, I have been wrestling with how to get conversation started around sex and faith. I have started and stopped, and I have played myself a little dim, as they say, or I have downplayed my gifts and abilities. I've also probably minimized the opportunity that people would like to have the invitation to talk about sex and faith. And so sometimes God, the universe, spirit, wants or allows you to see the ways that you're invited to be your full authentic self, right? And to do the things that you're called and you're created to do. And so one of the things I know I'm called to do, one of the things I enjoy doing is talking about sex and faith, right? And so I'm jumping on this morning to talk a little bit about Wholeness Wednesday as a part of the work I do with my business, Will You Be Whole? Like the Facebook page, Will You Be Whole Ministries? And I'll be sure to put that in a post on my page. And so wanted to come up with something that allowed us to have a conversation. And this was really sparked by yesterday. I am planning to present at the Let's Talk About Sex conference next week and wanted to create some t-shirts, right? So created some t-shirts, offered, often ask my Facebook family to respond. Grateful for people that did respond and did vote. It also sparked a conversation about what I am labeling respectability politics. And so on this, the first installation, the first time that I'm doing Wrestle with It Wednesday, which will typically be on Wednesday mornings, somewhere in the 9 o'clock hour. I know consistency is key, so I'll do better with that as I figure this out myself. But Wrestle with It Wednesdays is for us to spark some conversation about all of the things that come up at the intersection of faith. And the one thing that came up yesterday that I wanted to just reflect on this morning is the idea of the word sexual and the idea of respectability. So for me in my work and for me as a person, to be sexual is not simply activity, right? So our sexuality, I define it as who we are. So it is our identity, it is our behavior, and it is our expression. So our sexuality is not just our activity, right? The things that society, the things that even the church institutionally has made us believe that sexuality is just about what we do with our bodies. And that's not true. So good morning, Pastor Green. And so what I want to say, and what I'm asking you to wrestle with is, how do you define sexuality? What does it mean for you to be sexual? And so one of the taglines from my shirts was faithfully sexual, sexually faithful. And I got a few responses, like more than one, that felt that term was, I'm going to use the word provocative. That's not what the folks said, but my interpretation was to have a shirt on that says faithfully sexual and sexually faithful may give off a different meaning. Now, it's very true because words are interpreted by all of us, And so I appreciated the response and appreciated the perspective. I'm asking us this morning, on my first time doing Wholeness Wednesday, Wrestle with It, is how do you define sexuality? How do you define what it means to be sexual? Because that really grounds, I think, our understanding of how we address our wholeness of being both sexual persons and spiritual persons, or the term I use interchangeably is faithful, right? So, given that I have to get ready to leave for a meeting, which is perfect, I will tell you that my definition for spirituality or faith is the process of connecting to that which is higher than yourself. So spirituality is the process of connecting to that which is higher than yourself. For me, that means Christianity. So that is my faith. So when I use the word faith, I'm referring to me being an individual that believes in God through my confession of faith in Jesus Christ and the work that Jesus did both in his ministry and the work that he does on the cross, right? That's a whole nother theological conversation on another day. But I want you to understand that when I use that term faith, when I use the term spiritual or spirituality, it's referring purely to the way that I understand it and see it, but I'm open to ways that other folks may access what it means to be faithful, right? And what it means to be spiritual, because it's something different for all of us. So this is my first introduction. I'm giving y'all a little bit of groundwork on not only just who I am, but the purpose behind Wrestle with It. And today it was about respectability and about our notions of what it means to be sexual. So I'm asking you today, as you go out about your day, or even as you're thinking about it yourself, what does it mean for you to be sexual? How are you sexual in your life? And then as a person of faith, or a person of spirit, or a person who has a spiritual connection, what does it mean to be a faithful person and to be sexual? And so my hope is that as I keep doing this, next Wednesday, I'll come back probably around 9:30ish to do about the same thing and to talk about something else. Next week, I will be in New Orleans at the Let's Talk About Sex conference, where I am doing a workshop entitled I Love God and Sex Too, Redefining Our Sexual Ethic. And so hoping to really engage folks on that topic, and looking forward to the conversations that we can have. And thank you for this first time tuning in, and I will do a better job of quote unquote announcing it, or letting folks know that I will be coming on live Wednesday mornings for Wholeness Wednesday, so that we can wrestle with some things that relate to our sexuality and our spirituality. Hey, Bishop, good morning to you. And so wanted to do that this morning, and I appreciate y'all who are watching. Appreciate y'all who will watch this later, and ask that you would join me next Wednesday. I will probably be on at about 9:30 with my cup of coffee, probably sitting on the bank of the Mississippi River, looking forward to wrestle with this thing called sex and faith. Good morning, Stefan. Yes, Bishop, let's wrestle. And I'm looking forward to the conversation. Y'all have an amazing day. Remember that you are both fully spiritual and full of God's image, and you are also fully sexual, which is also a reflection of God's image. Have an amazing day and wrestle with it.